Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and today I wanted to talk about the latest audiobook that I finished over Audible, that being Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Now this is the author that wrote the Grisha Trilogy as well as the Six of Crows duology. Both series are about to get a lot of attention soon because they have a Netflix show, or they're going to have a Netflix show in 2020, I believe. She also wrote King of Scars, which I have and I plan on reading this month. And Ninth House is her first adult fantasy book, and it is very adult. I remember seeing on her Instagram her doing a big PSA that this is not a YA series, and this is definitely not one of them. So this book takes place in modern day Yale, and our protagonist being Alex, short for Galaxy, who gets plucked out of a very bad situation with an extremely sketchy past because she can see ghosts, and she starts working for Lethe, which is the ninth house, which watches over the other 8 houses, 8 covens, secret witchy societies in Yale, to make sure that they're not doing anything nefarious with their witchcraft. The whole story centers around there being a dead girl, which gets brushed off as not Yale or witchcraft related, but Alex suspects something's going on. So I loved this book. It is a mystery thriller, obviously has those fantastical elements with the witchcraft. I liked going to the different houses and the different societies because they all specialize in one form of witchcraft, like some in animal transformations, or some in portal magic, or some in illusions. It also switches between 2 POVs, so you mostly spend time with Alex, but you also spend time with Darlington, who is much more of a typical Yale student in the sense that he's clearly very intelligent, comes from a very well-off family, a little bit pompous, a little bit of a know-it-all, but he's also a very compelling POV character, and what happens to him is a mystery in and of itself that you're exploring through the book. I also really liked having Alex as the protagonist because she's this ex-drug addict. She comes from LA, she comes from an impoverished family, she has a very sketchy, mysterious past, and the fact that she can see ghosts on top of this. In this world, they know ghosts exist, but you have to take this extremely dangerous elixir to see them. So the fact that Alex can see them all the time is why Lethe wants her so bad and why they're willing to give her a full ride to Yale for it. I liked the mystery element. I loved when anything super fantastical comes in to play. The house that has to do with illusions was extremely fun. There's also a visit to the spirit world through the Nile River. Hard to explain out of context, but I thought was a blast. This book is extremely dark. I would say if you're a fan of Gillian Flynn, also kind of reminds me of Nevernight, that I also read recently and have a review on by Jay Kristoff, where it is not afraid to get bloody and gory and gruesome, lots of cursing, lots of dark sexuality. By the end though, I did not want to stop listening to it. I thought that this book would take me through the rest of January, and I ended up finishing it in like a week and a half, maybe. Considering that it's a mystery book at the core, I did find the conclusion to be pretty satisfying and a pretty good, like, ooh. There is an element of the reveal that I wish was a little bit more fleshed out. It seemed to be extremely important, but you don't really learn about it or know anything about it or those characters until basically right before it happens. But then it's held up as this extremely important, morally significant aspect of the entire story. The other thing that I really liked about it being an Audible book, at the end there's this little 25-minute interview between the narrator and Leigh Bardugo, and that was really interesting to listen to. Now when it comes to the things that I didn't care for as much, I love Leigh Bardugo. I own the Grisha Trilogy and Six of Crows and King of Scars, and now I own this book on Audible. I've gotten several friends to read the Grisha Trilogies and Six of Crows, including my mom. I am a fan of hers. That being said, and Six of Crows has this as well, but this book gets extremely preachy at points. Obviously, I don't think it's wrong for an author to use their work to take a moral stand or try to get across a certain point of view, but I was completely taken out of the story because I felt like Leigh Bardugo was physically shaking me through the book, being like, see, this is wrong. Like, yeah, I already know, I want to get back to the story. And then when it comes to Alex's backstory, that was weird. That was a point where I definitely wish that I had a physical copy of the book so I could very easily go back and reread it, because I almost felt like I was missing something. Not confusing in a convoluted way, just confusing on why this was the direction the story went in. If you read it, please let me know down below if you like know what I'm talking about and had a similar feeling that I did. I also found the beginning, maybe the first 2 hours, to be a little convoluted. This is where the audio is just lacking because I don't have a physical map of Yale. Leigh Bardugo went to Yale, so you get the sense that she's extremely familiar with the layout of the school and the streets and the different buildings, and that's all fine and dandy, but there is a lot of lingo and jargon and proper nouns that were just confusing to me, on top of the fact that like all these covens had their own different names and spells that were taking place and rituals that were done, and it was just a lot of information to take in that was kind of making it a bit of a slow read for me. But once you hit the dead girl and the mystery element, a whole world is unleashed and revealed, and then it gets real fun. This book, despite the fact that it is dark and sick and twisted and brutal, is fun. Alright, so if you have read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, what did you think of it? Leave it down in the comments below. If you have any more book suggestions along the same lines of Ninth House, please let me know. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any other short and sweet book reviews like this in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!